Hey, this is Karen. Welcome back to my channel. This is the third video of the 3 videos. Remember, the first video was drawing. Second one was just regular watercolor. This third video, we're going to go in here and we're going to learn how to come up with limited colors and how to design your artwork for limited colors. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button and make sure you give me a thumbs up so you won't miss any more of my art lessons. If you need a safe environment to go watch all of these classes, then there is a link below to Sunny Art Academy. And oh my gosh, I have tons of art lessons that are more in depth than what I have on my YouTube channel in a series of 3 videos. Make sure you catch all 3. The first one's going to be just drawing. Don't forget to subscribe so you won't miss any more of my cool art lessons. Hey guys, we're back again. I want to make sure everybody understands that these little pods, if you use, what is this? If you use Prang, which is one of my favorite types of paint because the colors are so bright and pretty. If you're going to use these little pods, you have to go in and squirt water on them, or you have to go in with your brush and put water in here. It's so much easier to do it with a squirt bottle than with your brush, just because you're dripping and yeah, that goes everywhere. Squirt bottles work better. A lot of times I have like color schemes that I go with, or I'll get a set of colors and go, oh my gosh, I'm just gonna use these certain colors, you know, to create whatever it is that I'm creating. Color schemes or color groups can be put together to create harmony within a design or within a painting. And that's what we're talking about today, is using limited colors. You're not using the whole rainbow. You're only using 4, 5, maybe 3 colors to design your entire painting. So here are some of the color schemes that I picked out. You can just go to Google and Google color schemes to come up with a limited palette. And here are a few that are limited palettes. You know, you could have a fall palette, you could have a winter palette, you could have a summer palette. And this is the limited palette that I chose to use to paint this sun painting. And I don't know, I always love red lips, so I'm going to do red lips. And remember that I'm right-handed, and if I paint this and do this, then I may get paint on me. So it's good to like paint in the center and work your way out, or you can spin the artwork around. Let's say I want to make this red, then I can paint this red, and then maybe I spin it around and paint the other side, or I start here and go this way. The other thing is, if you don't want this paint to run in together and blend, then you paint one area, you skip the next area, and then you paint the next area. I mean, you can paint it any color that you want. But that's what you're gonna, that's the best way to paint with watercolor if you don't want the colors in the watercolor to run into each other. This all works if you have watercolor paper. If you have tag board, the watercolor will just soak into the actual board, and you don't have to worry about that. But if this is true watercolor paper, all of the colors can blend in with each other, which can be a fun thing, So I'll show you what I'm talking about. So I rinsed my brush, and I did red. I rinsed my brush, and let's say I want to have orange next to it. So I'm going in here and getting my orange paint, and then I'm going to get in here and paint this orange. But then I'm going to get over here with my orange paint, and I'm going to get close to this red, and if the red is still wet, the red paint will start running into, like it's happening right here. The red paint is going to run into and blend with, see it's happening here and here. I'll put some more red paint on just so you can see what I'm talking about. So you can go in here, and if this is watercolor paper, if you don't have watercolor paper, sometimes this doesn't work. See, I didn't touch that, but that orange is wet. And then I'm adding more wet water. You can add water or paint and see how it all it's all blending together. It's all running together. I don't know if you see that. Isn't that fun? So if that's the kind of thing you want, oh, and you can do this and it can all run down and blend. See, it's running. It's kind of fun, isn't it? Or if you don't want it that way, you don't have to have it that way. If you don't want that to happen, then make sure that you don't paint right next to each other. Skip over to the next. Another lesson that I have done is a sunflower, and basically the sunflower has a bunch of petals, kind of like this has a bunch of different areas. So if I don't want this orange to run in here, don't paint that. Paint this right here. Let's say I want that to be yellow. So I can go in here and I paint this yellow, and I've got to wait for both of them to dry before I paint in between them. It's like the orange has to be dry and the yellow has to be dry before I paint this area in between. So we're going to let that dry. And what else do I want yellow? You know, I really like this guy yellow. I'm going to put him yellow and orange. I'm going to paint him. And he's supposed to be the sun, right? Or I guess with the lips, maybe it's a she. Is the sun a she, or is the sun a he? I don't know. Oh, that's still wet. See, I just grabbed it. I think this half I want it to be orange. Remember when you go in and you're changing colors to make sure that you rinse your brush really good. You can see I still had a little orange in that. I didn't mean to. I didn't rinse my brush good enough. Now, just a reminder, we are doing a special color scheme, a special group of colors. And so here's a refresher of the colors that we're using for this painting. So another color I really like is I like to take green. I'm going to put a bunch of green right here, maybe add a little water to it. And then I'm going to rinse my brush really, really good. I'm going to go into the yellow. Rinse my brush really good. I'm going to go into yellow and get a whole bunch of yellow. And then I'm going to add yellow to this. And it's not as, it needs to have more yellow in it. But I'm trying to create like a lighter green, or not a lighter green, but a different color green than what I have in here. So I'm getting back in and got some more yellow. Make sure I can show you guys what I'm doing here. Got more yellow, and I'm going to scrape the yellow into this and swish it around so it's kind of a lime green. It's not as greeny as that green. It's a lime green. And I'm going to put some lime green in this. I like lime green. Now see what happened to this right here. It just kept running and running and running, and now look at it. Oh my gosh, it's like the orange is almost completely red now. Hit the bell, give me a thumbs up. All right, I'm gonna add a new color. Ooh, that's pretty. So at this time, I decided to take some artistic freedom, and instead of doing hot pink, which I really don't have hot pink in my palette, I decided to do magenta. So it's going to be a little different than what my color scheme was originally, but I'm still bringing in a pink color to, you know, work with this limited palette. So when you are using a limited palette, it's good to spread out the colors so then all of the different colors are balanced throughout the whole composition of your painting. And that's what I'm doing. I have this magenta and I'm rotating my page and adding magenta all the way around to add balance. Remember to turn your paper around. Remember that when you're doing art, whether it's on paper or on a canvas, pick the canvas or paper up and turn the paper around to reach whatever it is that you want to work on. It's okay to turn your paper around. The rest of the painting, I'm basically going to do the same thing. I'm adding magenta with some of the curls that I have on one side of my sun, and then I'm going to clean my brush really well and go in and add yellow. Each section of the border, remember we put a border around our sun, and each section of the border I'm gonna color it a different color. The first one is orange, and then I'm going to color one of them red, and I don't know what I'm going to do with the other ones, but basically I'm turning my paper around and adding color and letting it dry and painting every other section so the paint doesn't run into each other and blend, because I mainly want my picture to have flat color, which flat yellow, flat orange, flat green. Now I did the darker green in the beginning, and then I changed it to this lime green or chartreuse or whatever you want to call it. So I'm gonna mix a little bit to, lime green with that darker green that I had originally. But I'm trying to stay with limited colors. I'm trying very hard to stay with limited colors. I'm not adding blue. I'm not adding purple. I have that magenta, which is going to replace the pink that's in the original, color scheme that we looked at in the very beginning. And I'm just going to keep going around, and I'm going to speed the painting up just a little bit because I really don't have anything else to say. If you want to watch or if you want to paint while I'm painting, go for it. Just watch the whole thing or speed it up a little. There is nothing wrong with that. Like I said, I am going to speed up my painting just a little bit because I'm just going to be painting. At this point in my painting, I'm looking back at the video and kind of wish I had left white space. This would be a great time to reevaluate what I did. I did paint every single section, but feel free to leave white space because that opens up and makes your design a little more fresh and maybe not so cluttered. I don't know. I'm looking at it now and I'm going, maybe I shouldn't have painted everything. So please go check out Sunny Art Academy, and I'll see you in the next video.